Captain, this is the route they gave us, Corporal. Kleinhurst laid the map between them. Not if I'm reading this right. With all due respect, sir, I believe we should turn back. Hall cast him a condescending stare. This your first Red Dog run, son? Yes, sir, it is. When you're hauling a shipment like what we got, you don't turn back, no matter what. When they call us, it's because they never want to see whatever we're carrying again. With good reason, Kleinhurst thought. Among the initial chemicals stored at Umatilla, and the first to be destroyed at the chemical agent disposal facility housed there, were containers of GB and VX nerve agents, along with HD blister agent. The Tooele Army Depot, where their drive had originated, meanwhile, served as a storage site for war reserve and training munitions, supposedly devoted to conventional ordnance. In fact, the military also developed and stored non-conventional munitions there in secret, within a secure area of the base known by few and accessible to even fewer. The normal route from Tooele to Umatilla would have taken just under 10 hours via I-84 West. But a Red Dog run required a different route, entirely off the main roads in order to avoid population centers. The point was to steer clear of anywhere people resided and avoid the kind of attention an accident or spill would cause, necessitating a much more winding route, which Hall and Kleinhurst hadn't been given until moments prior to their departure. A helicopter had accompanied them through the first stages of the drive, chased away when a mountain storm the forecasts had made no mention of whipped up out of nowhere and caught the convoy in its grasp. Now 2/3 of that convoy had dropped off the map, leaving the tanker alone, unsecured and exposed, deadly contents and all. Kleinhurst's mouth was so dry he could barely swallow. What exactly are we carrying, sir? Hall smirked. If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't be driving this rig. Kleinhurst's eyes darted to the radio. What about calling in? We're past the point of no return. That means radio silence, soldier. They don't hear a peep from us until we get where we're going. Kleinhurst watched the rig's wipers slap at the pelting rain collecting on the windshield, only to have a fresh layer form the instant they had completed their sweep. Even in an emergency, even if we lost our escorts miles back in this slop? Let me give it to you straight, Hall snapped, a sharper edge entering his voice. The stuff we're hauling in this tanker doesn't exist. That means we don't exist. That means we talk to nobody. Got it? Yes, sir, Kleinhurst sighed. Good, said Hall. We get where we're supposed to go and figure things out from there. But right now, his voice drifted as he stole a glance at the map. Suddenly, Kleinhurst lurched forward, straining the bonds of his shoulder harness to peer through the windshield. Jesus Christ! Up there, straight ahead! What? Look! At what? Can't you see it? I can't see shit through this muck, Corporal. Slow down! Hall stubbornly held to his speed. Slow down, for God's sake! Can't you see it? I can't see a thing. That's it! Like the world before us is gone. You need to stop. Hall hit the brakes, and the rig's tires locked up, sending the tanker into a vicious skid across the road. He tried to work the steering wheel, but it fought him every inch of the way, turning the skid into a spin through an empty wave of darkness. There! Kleinhurst screamed. What in God's name? Hall rasped, still fighting to steer, when a hole opened out of the storm like a vast maw. He desperately worked the brake and the clutch, trying to regain control. He'd been out in hurricanes, tornadoes, even earthquakes. None of those, though, compared to the sense of airlessness both he and Kleinhurst felt around them now, almost as if they were floating over a massive vacuum that was sucking them downward. He had done his share of parachute jumps for his airborne training, and the sensation was eerily akin to those first few moments in freefall before the chute deployed. He remembered the sensation. It was not so much like being unable to breathe. It was more like being trapped between breaths for an absurdly long moment. The rig's nose pitched downward, everything in the cab sent rattling. The dashboard lights flickered and died, and the world beyond was lost to darkness as the tanker dropped into oblivion.